Crack-a-lackin' challengers, I'm your host James Morelan, and guys, the fish room has an infestation, and it's gotten to the point where we need to fix it and take drastic steps to solve this problem. So of course, I'm talking about the snail infestation in our fish room. Literally every single tank has hundreds, thousands of snails all across the entire fish room. Every single tank has snails. So today we're going to be removing most of them from different tanks and adding them all to my 150-gallon aquarium so that it'll be easier to manage them, and I'll talk about everything in this video. But before we get too invested into the video, I just want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for watching these videos. It means so much. I was looking at my fish tank and I was like, whoa, if it wasn't for the challengers, I wouldn't have any of these tanks. I'd probably still have my 10-gallon, and my fish probably would have died because you guys taught me so much and we learned together, which was really awesome. So thank you all for checking out the channel, sharing the videos, liking the videos, watching all of them, following in the series and stuff. Thank you guys so much. But if you guys have seen in all the tanks, we have tons of snails. So in my goldfish aquarium, we have a couple adult ones. This tank is a little colder, so they're not breeding as much. Hey, what's poppin'? So they're not breeding as much in this tank, so most of them are just getting bigger and growing to full maturity, and they eat on this wood as time goes on. So this tank was my 150-gallon tank, and as you guys remember, I had to take it apart because of the leak, and currently this tank is just sitting here, and I'm not really going to be doing anything with it for the next couple weeks, or maybe the next couple months. It really depends on when I decide to fix it. I'm kind of waiting until it's a little bit warmer so I'll be able to scoop out all the sand and put it by the pond instead of just like holding it in buckets, so that'll be a little easier, and I'll be able to fix it all in one day. I was also thinking about just doing a quick patch and actually filling up this entire section with dirt and then having a piece of land so I can maybe have turtles or other things that require half land and half water. It'd be a basic paddlearium. If you guys want to see something like that, I'd love to hear your comments. A lot of you guys suggested it. I think it would be so dope. I mean, please comment some of the things that you think we could have in here. I was thinking some neon tetras, and maybe we could get some crab. There are some crabs that live in brackish water, but there are also some that live in fresh water. The only thing is they require land, and that's really why I haven't gotten them. They need to be able to have high spots that they can climb out on. And I would love to have high spots, but as you guys can see, this tank is so tall, I won't be able to have it. So let's talk about the snails in my tanks. So you guys know I absolutely love snails, especially Horn snails. I bought them specifically so I could have them in my aquariums, but the thing is, they grow really quickly, and when they're growing, they need a lot of food. And if you miss out 1 or 2 days of feeding, then they get hungrier, or else they start to eat plants. So as you guys can see that little hole right there, a snail created that, and that's why this tank is so hard to grow plants, because there's so many snails that just eat so much. And I have to feed this tank a lot of food because we have shrimp in here, but then when snails don't get food and the shrimp eat it all, they eat the plants. Now, 95% of the time, snails will not eat your plants. It's only when they're starving and they don't have other access to food, they might eat their plants. I have 3 different major types of snails in my aquariums. The first one's being Horn snails. These guys are really, really cool. They're pink ones. I also have a couple brown ones, and I also got black ones. The second kind of snail I have is a bladder snail, or pond snail. You guys can see them. They don't really get super big unless you feed them a lot. But these guys breed like crazy, and were a pest snail that just invaded my aquariums and my fish room. And the third and final type of snail I have is the Malaysian trumpet snail. I have a lot of these guys in my 90-gallon, and I think they prefer warmer water. But you guys can see the little snails right there. They have a cone shape. One of my favorite snails, I gotta be honest. They are a little harder to breed, and I don't see them as much. They burrow themselves into the aquarium gravel. And when they do that, they sift up the gravel, which makes it really nice, and it makes it really clean on the surface, because if there's any waste, it'll burrow next to the waste, and the waste will fall in. And that's also really great for plants, because it's way more fertilizer for these plants, and it makes it faster for the plants to grow. So that is a benefit of them, and some people get annoyed because they breed really quickly. I haven't really found that to be the case in my aquariums, at least. But I do have really nice root structures underneath my aquarium. I hope you guys can see that. There's some really great roots, and there's really good fertilizer in this tank, natural fertilizer from all the fish. And I have to attribute some of that to these snails. Now, another downside of these guys is when they die, they leave their shells. So some people just remove the shells, and I recommend that if you have a smaller tank, because when the snail dies, and then that can release ammonia, and it can really mess up your aquarium. So it'll create so much waste when they die, and it has to decompose. But in my case, I have so many snails, they actually eat the dead ones, which is kind of weird, but it's just natural. It's like nature. It's not the best, but I leave it in there. And the reason I don't leave the shell is because the calcium inside of that shell can actually leak back into the water column because it has to go somewhere, and the calcium is going to help the other generations of snails grow. And at first, when I was growing them to sell them, I actually added Tums, which had calcium inside of them. So I put Tums inside of my aquarium, and that helped the snail shells grow really fine and really well. So here are some of the older snail shells. You can see this one actually has some algae growing on it, which is kind of funny. But I have a couple other types of mystery snail shells. There's a Malaysian trumpet snail shell, and the corydoras are just surfing through it. So yeah, you can see it starting to break down. The calcium in the snail shell is just breaking down. Oh, we got a little Malaysian trumpet snail right there. Right in the middle of the screen. Cute. So you can see the shells tend to break down over time. Okay, so enough saying, let's actually do something. Oh my gosh, he's a big boy. Oh my gosh. Or bamboo shrimp or fan shrimp. Oh, this guy's awesome. He is huge though, like look at my finger. He's like the size of my finger. Huh, he's awesome. And then we got some hashtag Jeffs for the Neon Tetras. Guys, on this channel we call Neon Tetras Jeffs, so make sure you guys comment hashtag Jeff. Alright, time to pull my sleeve up and let's start harvesting some snails. Let's see how many snails I can pull out in 30 seconds. And guys, if you remember this from the last video, if you didn't watch it, we got some new guppies to breed. But let's just get started. I'm going to throw them all up top and just put them on this light. It's not super hot, so it's not going to cook them, but they won't really move when it's on top of here. So let's get started. Okay, I'm not timing myself. At first I wanted to, but I think I get too stressed out when I'm timed to do things. There's one little one right on the little hidey hole. I didn't feed them. I threw some algae wafers in there last night, so I don't really know if they'll be in the mood to eat or come out that much. Oh my gosh. And this is what happens when guppy grass grows. It can actually shoot out some roots that get nutrients from the soil. So in case you guys didn't know. Oh my gosh. Look at all the shells right there. I hope you guys can see. Oh, there's a little shrimp. Here's another one. Another one. And another one. Oh, another one. And another one. Oh, there's two on that one. So I got 3 right there. Nope, 2 more. Alright, I think I'm just gonna stop and I'm gonna put these guys in the 150. Oh my gosh, just look at all those guys. A whole handful. A lot of people ask me, how do you know if a shrimp is dead? If you take the shrimp out and you see it not moving, and then you put it by your nose and you just smell it, you will know when the shrimp is dead. They smell absolutely horrible if they die. It's like nasty. So you guys will know if you smell it. And if they're not moving, sometimes they're just stressed, especially if you got new ones. Oh, look at that little baby one. They can be really, really small when they're babies. So yeah, you'll just know when they're dead because they'll smell really bad. But usually when you add them to a new tank, they are not that active and they'll just sit around a little bit. So it's common, and if you get new snails, I'd recommend putting them in the corner of an aquarium. And then over the next couple weeks, if they don't move, they might be dead and you want to take them out. But put them in a corner, and if they don't move, you can check on them. But if they move out of that spot, that means they're usually alive. So I'm going to put them in the 150. And over the next couple weeks, I think I'm just going to start adding some of these guys into the 150. Oh my gosh, look at all the snails over there. This tank has so many. Look at all of them on the sides. Like right here, we have so many baby ones. They're growing really well in this tank. And this is one of the bladder snails. Before this video ends, if you guys want to get some of the best high quality shrimp in the US, make sure you guys check out Flip Aquatics. You can find the link down below. They have some of the greatest shrimp that I have in all my aquariums, and they grow really well. If you guys want to check them out, use the link down below. You'll get a discount on your order. It'd mean a lot if you guys check them out. I've met the owner, really great guy. They also have a YouTube channel on YouTube, so you guys can check them out as well if you want to learn more about shrimp. I've definitely learned a lot from them. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Again, thank you guys so much for watching all these videos. It means a lot. Stay tuned for the next one. I'm going to be trying uploading more. I have a couple of great ideas if you guys saw in the last video. When we went to the pet store, I got some cool things that we're going to be making some videos on. So I will catch you all on the flippity flop. See you all later. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great day. See y'all later. Bye. Also, check out my vlog channel down below or on screen. I'll see you guys. Okay, bye.